If you knew a book was haunted, would you read it? If a book was allegedly haunted to the degree it could cause sinister and negative things to happen to you, then should it come with a health warning? What if the book in question was based on the terrifying alleged real accounts of a small home in Pembrokeshire, West Wales? Then surely it's just hype, a clever marketing ploy, or merely the power of suggestion at work, and nothing more to worry about. The question is, would you still read it? Would you take the chance that it is nothing but a marketing ploy, or just those with an overactive imagination falling prey to a compelling paranormal account? Would you still go and read it because you wanted to see or feel something of a paranormal nature? One such book has had such a profoundly damaging effect that some claim to have suffered severe mental anguish, terrified some, obsessed others, and even put one man in hospital. Why do so many readers of this book see tall shadows at the end of the bed, and others hear strange noises coming out of their phones? It is just a book, right? Surely paranormal accounts committed to a page cannot manifest and affect a reader in the real world. Well, Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest has been causing concern. Paranormal objects and the supernatural powers they possess are no secret and have often been committed to book and screen. Dolls, chairs, dresses, and paintings are all said to be the portal to other realms, or carry the residue of unimaginable entities. The Crying Boy painting was said to cause house fires, and the Dybbuk box said to house an evil spirit. The Paranormal Chronicles office itself has an alleged haunted radio and a photograph of a woman that is supposed to haunt the residence of whoever has the picture. Odd things do happen, but not as strange as the effects this book is having on its readers. Here is one such concerning report. There has been a lot of chatter and work about this book, Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest. Now, if you piece some of the clues together, you can find a start position in Haverfordwest and then work towards where the house possibly is. Several of us started trying to work out where the house was. We narrowed it down to 2 locations. One morning, a group of us were ready to set off to look for it, when one of my friends, white as a sheet, said, "Leave it. There is something wrong with that f***ing book. I swear I saw something in the house last night. My dog was going wild and barking, and my bedroom felt like a fridge freezer." She said, "I'm done with this, and some things are left well alone. I'm not doing this anymore, and I'm calling for a medium to cleanse my house." I thought maybe she'd been warned off by perhaps the author, or threats of legal action from the owners of the house. All day, everyone was still talking about this house. I went home and was going through the book, looking for clues. I thought I found something, so I picked up the phone, and instead of being greeted by my friend, I heard this crackling noise, and the sound of a child singing, just like the book. I threw my phone across the room and then thought, rationally, my friend must be winding me up, having a joke at my expense. All of it was just a prank. That night I was in bed, and I woke up. It was pitch black, and I could smell the perfume as described in the book. I turned on my light, and for a split second saw a tall, shadowy figure at the end of the bed. F*** that. The book went straight out of the house and in the bin. What is going on? It is just a book, right? Has the author planted subliminal messages in the book to make us see ghosts? How can he do that? If the book is real, then fair enough, but a book shouldn't be haunting people for just reading it. It's not right. And there's more. Ben sent in via email. "I just wanted to share with you what's happened to me this last week. I bought the book, Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest, as we were going on holiday camping around Wales, having an interest in the paranormal, and having heard the author on Coast to Coast. Well, I was gripped by the book, I have to say. But whether it was a coincidence or not, odd things started happening on holiday. The fuses went out on our camper van, phones wouldn't charge up, I left all our kitchen gear behind by mistake, and both our camping chair and the table broke. But the strangest thing was, this morning I was taken to A&E with a suspected broken ankle. While waiting for the results of the x-ray, I rang my mum to tell her what had happened. I am a rational 40-year-old man, but I cannot explain this. I was holding the book as I took it to read, knowing the waiting times. The phone call to my mum cut out, and usually of course when there is bad signal it goes patchy and you lose connection. Of course, don't you? Well, my phone started making static noises like an old FM radio. I thought maybe the hospital equipment was causing it. Then I heard a very slow, deep voice, like you would listen to on an old cassette tape, whispering something incomprehensible. I immediately thought of what happened to Di in the book, and now this had just happened to me. I was terrified, and I admit I left the copy of the book in the A&E department of Wrexham Hospital, too scared to read anymore. Do you think that there is even a danger reading your book? And I wondered if any other readers of your books had informed you they had experienced strange happenings. I have booked myself in with a hypnotherapist in the hope she can make sure nothing has latched onto me. Anyway, I hope this may be of interest. There were others. Some friends have been going on about this book, Haunted, Horror of Haverfordwest. I live in Pembrokeshire, and though I'm not into this subject, however, it is interesting to read about your hometown, and there was a guessing game at work to try figure out where the house was. I read the book. It scared me, I will admit. That night I dreamt, or so I thought, that there was something or someone at the end of the bed, a tall figure, just like in the book. It made me jump. So, obviously, you think I've read a scary book, pretty much in one sitting before bed, and it's occupying my mind. I got up. My husband woke and asked if I was okay, and I said yep, fine, need the loo. I came back, and my husband was sat bolt upright and staring at the end of the bed. I asked what was up. He said he swore there was a tall man at the end of the bed. The room was so cold, and my husband's hair was stood on end. I told him about the book, and I swear to you, he picked it up and threw it out of the window and said I never want that book in my house again. In the morning, the book was gone, and I feel sorry for whoever picked it up and thought they had cashed in on a free book. A few days later at work, one of my colleagues said she had experienced something very similar, and she too had given the book away. Haunted, Horror of Haverfordwest, is haunted. I don't know how it's happened, but the events from the book are happening to people in their own home. Susan from New York sent this in. I read the book after hearing the author on Coast to Coast. I finished it in one sitting and thought it was a good story. If it is true, then I pity those poor people. But if it's made up, then a great piece of horror fiction. It scared me and did a great job of doing it. I will admit, I went to bed with some of the events from the book lingering in my mind. But books do that. I woke up at around 4 AM and saw as clear as day a tall black shape walk across my landing. How is this even possible? I am not prone to suggestion and idle fantasies. This was not a dream. I heard its footsteps as it made its way around my house. If this is real, then people need to stop bringing this book into their homes. Things of this nature should not be invited in, especially with what happens to everyone who encounters it in the book. Someone even died. Could it be that for some, this book becomes more than a book? It is possible that for some, this book has become a portal to bringing something unfathomable and terrifying into their homes. It should be noted that other people have read the book and not confessed to any unusual events. Maybe the power of suggestion, detailed accounts in the book, and an imaginative mind can fuel what seems like a real haunting. The house and the events that have happened there have been well documented in Haunted, Horror of Haverfordwest. The author himself confessed to suicidal depression, alcoholism, and mental health issues since living there, and provoked his mental state from the subsequent reopening of the investigation to delve further into the history of the house, should some things be left well alone. If this is just a book, then no one needs to fear anything. The reviews from magazines, radio show hosts, and readers stating it as one of the most terrifying books ever written may just be fueling some wild imaginations, and those susceptible to fantasy. Not everyone has had a frightening encounter after reading. Well, not one that they have admitted. For others, the risk will be too much. Why risk your own sanity by inviting something terrifying into your life? Why risk your family, your loved ones, and pets by bringing this book into your home? Is it worth reading just to ruin your life potentially? What if it is haunted? What if it affects your life in ways you can never recover from? If you do decide to read it, then maybe read it at work, in a public space, or somewhere a long way from home, and then just leave the book lying there. Be mindful of where you leave it, as someone else may pick it up and experience the trauma that is Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest. If your friends lend you this, or gift you Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest, then consider their motives before accepting. If you have read Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest and have experienced something unusual, then please contact Paranormal Chronicles at AOL.com as a priority. They would like to talk to you. If something is happening at your home, then please remove the book immediately and seek spiritual help. If you would like to tempt fate, this book is available from Sixth Books and wherever books are sold. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for future content. Depending on if you dare to flick through these pages, we'll see you next time.